Majority of the calls that I take with business owners, a good percentage, when I say a good percentage, I would say more than 65 to 70% of the people that I speak with, typically very successful business owners. And they are not just newbies, very experienced and has been in the industry for many years. So typically you can, literally call them very successful. Because they are when it comes to the business. But there is one segment which they are struggling a lot, and that is the relationship part. And when I say relationship, it is not just their personal, intimate or personal relationships at home, but it is any kind of relationship that they want to have in apart from the clients and the team. So it is like interpersonal and also the kind of relationships that they are having in their overall personal segment. I have seen them struggling in terms of maintaining, in terms of communicating, in terms of even just sustaining those relationships which maybe once they just, loved having, or it was like a no effort thing at their end. Now, there are a lot of factors included in it. And, it depends from situation to situation and person to person. But in this video, I'm just going to highlight some of the most common factors which you need to focus upon if you are somebody who is going through that same phase or the situation. Okay. So the first and foremost important thing, please understand what is it that you really want right now at this phase of your life in your relationship for yourself and for the people involved. People or person involved in that relationship. This is very important because if you do not have clarity what you want, so even if you break your head on the wall thinking that, oh, it's not working, there is no communication, this, that, etc., it is not going to work because people have this habit of jumping on the how part of it without having clarity on the what and the why of it. Okay, so first and foremost thing, you need to be clear on the aspect of what exactly you are looking for right now in the phase that you are in life. Okay, the next aspect is that the same thing your partner or the people in that relationship are also looking for? That means you basically need to have a clear communication with them. Understand what do they want because their perspective is important as well. Understand this, that relationship is a two-way street. It is not one-sided. It is not going to work if it is just being taken care of by only one person. It is a two-people job. Right? Whatever relationship you talk about, whether it's your partner, like your spouse, your children, like, with one kid each, like if you have multiple kids, with your parents, with your friends, with your, close people in your network. So mostly I have seen this issue having in the partner relationship, like a spouse or intimate relationship. So the important thing is you need to understand what that person wants as well. What is their perspective and from where they are coming from in the phase of life that they are in right now with you in this relationship. Where you are right now, from here, how to go about it, right? So it's like, what is the vision you have for your relationship? Yes. So another aspect is, let me take one step back and also mention this point. Maybe few years back when you started off the relationship, you had a particular vision. You had a particular aspiration or things that you decided to do, and things changed. You focused more on the business, things started happening, time, work, everything happened. The fact is the vision still the same or has it changed for either of you or both of you? That is important. So you need to once again review and understand, are you both walking towards the same destination or a vision or goal? I won't call it a goal, but is it the same place that you both are trying to reach, okay, together? If that is not the case, then you need to redefine what does it look like right now? What is the vision that it looks like for both of you together? And most of the time you will see it has changed. Because you have changed, you have grown, you have matured, and so the other person in their own way. And sometimes it may also happen that both the paths are different. Now, in this case, see, when things are together, the vision is same, the path is same and everything, there is not much of a problem. But now let's say you want something from life and the other person wants something from life. This is where comes the next point, which is, what are you going to do now? Like, can you come up with some options, some aspects where you can work together to meet a midpoint, to meet a place where you can work on it together? Because if you are working towards a different thing and if the other person is working towards a different thing, it becomes very challenging for you to maintain that personal relationship, because you get so engrossed in your business with respect to your time, with your priorities, with your commitments, etc., that your priorities on the personal space keeps on reducing and reducing, which brings me to the next point. You need to set your priorities right. If this relationship or the relationships are important for you, even at this phase of your life, then you need to rethink of your priorities and how you can, restructure your priorities when it comes to your personal space. Because until and unless you prioritize them, you are not going to spend enough time and put that effort into it. Right? Have you seen yourself? If you don't prioritize your work in the business, you actually don't work for it. Only because that is important, you actually work towards it, right? Because you prioritize it, you make that important. So if this relationship is important for you, why not do that? And I have seen people struggle so much into this aspect that sometimes it is very difficult for them to even start from a new aspect. But once you take these steps, these thoughtful steps, it becomes easier for you to navigate. And another very crucial thing is the point which I also mentioned. You need to understand the perspective of the other person. What does your partner want in this phase, at this phase of life he or she is in? Because until and unless you realize that, then you understand, okay, so I want this, he or she wants this. So what can we do together? Or how can we move forward from here? Now you are talking, now you're discussing, now things will happen. Because what happens, majority of the time, people start assuming things and they feel like, oh, you know what? He or she used to think like this, believe this or that. And you keep that past pattern with you. The past patterns are not going to help until unless you realize these patterns still exist. So maybe the patterns have already changed and all you need to do is, point wise, what I mentioned, start executing it, see what is working for you and your partner and take it forward together. Because ultimately, your relationship also needs your conscious attention, conscious effort, and most importantly, your time and presence. It is not going to work otherwise because it is definitely your responsibility as well. Right? So if you are into business, typically if you're a business owner, yes, there are a lot of things to be taken care of. And if your personal relationship is as important to you or more important to you more than your business, then it's your time to, reapproach it in a different manner and see it from a new perspective. So once you start doing the steps, start seeing the changes. And if you have any questions, you know how to reach me. And if you have still not read my book, which is 7 Steps from Shame to Being Back in the Game, which is there on Amazon, so go ahead, read it. And the best way is gift it to somebody who needs it. So this is for the people who are undergoing a lot of challenges in their life in terms of decision making, in terms of a phase where they have made certain decisions and they are regretted. They are in a phase of guilt, in a phase of shame, and how they can come out of it in a step-by-step manner. So this is a hands-on experiential book. So you go ahead, read it, or better gift it to somebody. Till then, see you soon. Namaskaram.